All right, we're gonna do the breakdown, my final gear load, and we're gonna load it into the backpack. I'm also gonna do separate videos so you can see sleep system, water system, bathroom system, clothes, food, bear can. That in itself is a whole project. Cook systems, my backpack, how I put it all in there. I'm gonna separate these out, so if you want to know about one particular thing, check out the separate videos, but this is going to be one long one. If you want to see all my gear, and I'm a gear guy, I love gear, but I don't have every gear memorized. I'm not that much of a gearhead. And by the way, I'm also not paid by anybody. The only person I'm affiliated with is Grazie Wine, which we ship some of them out to VVR. But none of these people pay me. This is just gear that I love, and I've tested a bunch of stuff in the last year, and are my favorites. There's some things that I'm thinking like, oh, I might try this next time, but anyway, let's kind of, I'm gonna kind of start in the function of actually loading my backpack. So you can see this is my backpack. It is the Gossamer Mariposa 60 liter. You can see on there I tie some string because you never know when you need string or if you need to tie something to this. I've got some baby pins which come in handy sometimes, but also for drying clothes. You can just, you know, pin them in there as you walk on the trail. Some, you know, more gear rings in case I need them. This is a shoulder strap for the GoPro. Not positive I'm bringing that. I've been testing it this week, and sometimes it bothers me a little bit on the shoulder, so I may leave it home. Keep my phone here, some other things in here, probably a battery. Maybe credit cards and stuff like that, permits possibly, and the only other things on here, this is a little redundant, but I just like having, I've got the JetBoil, but I also like having a separate cup to have coffee or whatever. So I'm bringing this, and I just keep this on the outside of my bag in case I want to stop and have coffee like an hour or two into my hike. I've got this Osprey rain cover in case we hit rain, and we've had a lot of rain lately in Florida, so I've tested it a bunch. It works well. You just stop, throw it over, covers the whole bag. And I'm hoping there's not going to be too many mosquitoes this year, but you know, this Sea to Summit mosquito insect shield head net in case I do run into any. I'm pretty much wearing long sleeve shirts on the trail, but this will do at a pinch. And then an extra hat that I'm just keeping on the outside in case, you know, sometimes I just get hot in my hat. I want something different, get sweaty. So I'm actually bringing a couple hats. But so the first thing is, let's look at my sleep system. And the first thing I do bring is the charger. There's actually a charger that goes with this. And then I've got some extra string for the tent. This for drying any moisture in the morning, and then a pad. But the charger will be for blowing up the mat or for blowing up pillows or anything else, and then for my buddy's stuff as well. So I'll keep those in there. It's actually getting charged right now, so I'm not going to stick that in there yet. I really kind of want this on the bottom, but I could probably force it in there later. The next part of my sleep system, I use this Zambivy setup. Well, it's twofold because I've got the Zambivy full sheet now. I had used a half sheet, but I didn't like it. It was kind of just didn't feel complete to me. So I upgraded to the full sheet, and it's really quite nice on a cold night. You get your head in there, you know, you kind of get all tucked in. And then I've got the NEMO tensor underneath it. So that would go in probably pretty much on the bottom of my sleeping bag, because we don't need this. It's the last thing we need when we get to camp, and it just forms a nice bottom for it. So we'll just fold that up, get the air out, and that will go in first. And like I said, I really like to put that other thing in there as well, but we'll just have it on the side, and then our first night camp, we'll get it down to where we need it to be. Oh, and by the way, I also have in there, I don't know what this stuff is called, but I have in there some of this sheeting. You guys probably know what it's called. There's a name for it, but basically it's a liner for underneath, extra protection for underneath your head from holes, but also goes up against the back of your pack here kind of nicely. And it's just an extra layer of protection. Rain, things like that. I just want to get that all pushed down real nice. And then we've got my pillows. So I've got these Nemo pillows. I've got two, and I really use one of my waterproof Hyperlight bags as a third. I'm a 3-pillow guy at home. I used one pillow last year in Colorado, and I was miserable. I upgraded to these pillows. I tried a couple different 2-pillow systems. I didn't like them. I found these things are really comfortable. They're smaller than my pillows at home, but they do the job when you blow them up. And then a third pillow, sometimes I need to align. One's for between my legs, one's for my head, and then sometimes I need one to align my shoulders. I went with 2 in Colorado. It was okay, but that's kind of a backup. I can use my clothes, and I don't put this stuff in yet. These are kind of more for padding after I get other things in there. And same thing, I've got the Zenbivy. This is a 25-degree Zenbiv 800 Dow, I think, down. And again, I don't put that in until later, kind of stuff around everything. By the way, when I'm done, and this is all packed up, you can't really check this, right? I mean, this stuff it'll come back without it, and you can't really carry this on a plane. So all of that will go. These are my hiking sneakers and my Gator Girl, Dirty Girl Gators. So everything goes in this REI duffel, and then I check that. And then what I actually do when I get to Mammoth, I have my what I wear on the plane, and then my clothes for the flight back, and anything else I want to have in Mammoth for the 3 days I'm there will go in here, and I will ship this to Yosemite. So when I get to Yosemite, I'll have some clean clothes to fly home in. I'll do laundry there too, because I don't want to carry all that smelly stuff home with me, but that will be just a nice thing waiting for you when you get there. Anything you want to send ahead, food, you can just ship it from when I get to California. Okay, so clothes. So clothes, I did a separate video on clothes. So basically, though, I put these in these bags, and then they go into the bag. So we won't do all of that. We won't pack it all up now, because I think that'll just be, it'll literally take me some time. I'm not that experienced at doing this. But these are my clothes, and I think you've seen this in the other video, but basically long pants, beanie, gloves. This is basically Whitney gear. I might wear my pants, a few days on the trail, especially in the morning, but I'm probably going to be wearing, I won't bring one pair of shorts. Those shorts I'll be wearing almost every day. Of course, my puffy, Steel puffy, got my hockey hat. That's my tent. That's the Durston X-Dome X1 Plus. I'll be wearing on day 1 these shorts, kettle shorts, pair of 32-degree undies, my kettle shirt, long sleeve, sun hoodie, very light and wicking, a gaiter for the neck, my Ninja toe socks. These are my hiking gloves to go with my poles, so you don't get blisters on your hand, and also protect you from the sun. I like to have a bandana. It's actually like a little thicker bandana for you could use it after you dip in a lake. It doubles as a towel, and that's my main hiking hat. And then back up, I'm actually bringing 2 extra pairs of underwear, because I think that's the one thing you really want to keep clean is your underwear. If the rest of the stuff is filthy, who cares? But so I'm throwing in an extra pair of undies in there, and got one of my daughter's hairs in there, I think. And then these are my camp socks, just some darn toughs. These are my camp clothes, and my sleeping clothes. And then of course, those will be my camp shoes. And you can see I've got an injury going. Hopefully that clears up in the next 5 days. But those will be my camp shoes along with the socks, and also for water crossings. These are my main hiking shoes. Then here's my medical kit, and I kind of probably have too much, but it's pretty light, and I'd rather have the extras. And I kind of took out some of the things they had in there and added my own things, but I've got the whole run of stuff: antihistamines, nausea, stuff for if you get the runs, painkillers, all that good stuff I got in there. This is something that obviously anything with scent has to go in your bear can, but during the day I like to have this stuff handy. So I've got a chapstick, a dermatone. You know, I just have problems with my lips when I'm at altitude and in the mountains in the sun every day. So I've got some of this Chemex. I've got Aquaphor. Aquaphor is amazing. This is sunblock. I've got eye drops. My eyes tend to get dry. This magic soap actually goes with this stuff over here. You know, I have some honey stingers in my pocket. And by the way, so that stuff kind of will go in the knapsack in this kind of strap over here. But then I also got this recently, this Cosmic Gear kind of a fanny pack type deal. You could also wear it across your chest, but it's basically, I'm carrying my first night's meal, some snacks on the first day, and I'll also keep my permits and stuff in there, driver's license, all that stuff. I think that's kind of the plan right now. This is my rain gear, so my rain gear goes in here. This is my water setup, and it's a little redundant, but my buddy doesn't have a water setup, so these are just some water tabs, and that's kind of a backup emergency type thing in case our stuff breaks. This is my for the camp. I'm using this. It's kind of come apart of me, but this Catadine, and I like it because you can just kind of hang it and walk away and do some other things while you set up your tent. And also, it's pretty big. It's like 2.5 liters, so it's really all the water you need. And I'm not certain my buddy has one, but this is what I'll be using on the trail to quickly just fill up my bottles. I paired a Seanock with the Sawyer. The Sawyer is great on its own. You can just stick it on your bottle actually if you want. But I like the idea of filtering it. And this is my first time, so I'm a little nervous about it. And then I don't even know how to clean it, but this is the cleaning system. I'm bringing it. I mean, I almost feel like, do you really need to clean this stuff? But just to be safe, I will clean my stuff out and just make sure I'm doing things right. And maybe I'll learn on the trail that's not quite how people do it, but so that's my water system. And if we can get this back in nicely, I'll pack it in my bag right now. And then next we've got the rest of my water setup is, I've got to repack that. But the rest of my water setup is I have these water bottles, and I actually had this set up with a hose to my mouth, but I kind of didn't like it. I tested it a couple times this week, and I don't know, the water doesn't taste as good. There's something about just chugging it from it, and so I think I'm going to keep this one like that, the chug, and this one I'm going to keep the sports bottle on. And I'm bringing an extra just because I heard early on in the trail there's a couple dry spots, plus for Whitney, I want to make sure I have enough water for Whitney. So I'm going to carry an empty one for 4 days, and then I'll fill it up for Whitney, and then after Whitney, once I get to Independence, I'll get rid of it. The only time I'll fill this one up is for the climb to Whitney. Of course, we've got our food, which I will do a separate video where I can take everything out and I'm going to repack it and poke some holes in it so I can get some more room in there and squeeze as much as I can in there. My jet boil system, I've got it taped up, so I'm not going to open it up, but I've got actually I do have to take it out because I think my fluid, my fuel is in there. We cannot. So these are actually for starting fires. Just keeping that in there. Yeah, this has got to come out before I pack it up. So good thing we did that. But yeah, I just like the jet boil. A lot of people told me that I should really just do the other setup. It's just smaller, it's lighter, but I've used this a couple times and I just love it. It's really quick. You can also use it as a cup, so I can eat right out of it if I want to. I like the idea of having the 2 cups. It's pretty freaking light, so it just takes up a lot of space, but you know, I'll make the space. My sunglasses, my Smiths, which I've lost like 5 times in the last week, but so I was just gonna bring a pair of $20 knockarounds because I lose stuff all the time, but I'd like to have those. This is one trip where you really want to have a good pair of sunglasses. Then we've got our pack out kit, and I've got 1 pack out for me, 1 pack out for my buddy. That's for Whitney. Then my shovel, my bidet, which I've really never used, and also again, someone told me to just get an attachment user for your water bottle, and I'm not putting my water bottle anywhere near my, that area. I like the idea that this is separate. Hopefully that's enough water to do the job. But just in case, since I'm learning, I am bringing some wipes for the beginning of the trail. But if I do well with this thing and it's enough for me, then I'll disband it. I just haven't had enough real practice with it yet. And these are some things that will go at the top of the bear can, but they're just, they're smellable. So we've got our mosquito repellent. We've got our, right, we can see all that there, right? Our Body Glide, our toothpaste. We've got some Banana Boat sunblock and some spray. I just like this for like spraying the back of my neck and things like that. You can't really reach back there. Some floss, and I got to stick my toothbrush in there still because I got to keep brushing my teeth. I bring these scissors for taking care of my nails on the trail. Magic soap goes in there too because that smell. These are all my, it says Cleanse is a cleanser, but these are just all different vitamins that I'm bringing along on the trail with me. And takes up a little room. I like to separate them just because one's got the oils and one's my other vitamins. Of course, my iPhone's coming with me, my driver's license, credit cards. This stuff I'll keep probably, some I'll keep in that shoulder strap, some I'll keep in the fanny pack, but maps, lighters, you got to carry these on the plane. You can't check this in your bag. So I just learned that recently. So that's going to be that's going to go with this stuff in my carry-on. These are we've got our bus tickets at the beginning of the trail, my bus tickets to Fresno at the end of the trail, my maps. I've also got Far Out on here. I've got trails on here, but I actually like paper maps, and I'll be looking at what we're going to do the next day, the day before, and kind of planning it out. But the Far Out and stuff is, I've actually been hearing it's been glitching lately, but it's really good. I use it a bunch out in Colorado recently. It's great. And then, by the way, if you don't know to have a campfire, if you're in a spot where you can have a campfire, if they're not stopping you, you need a permit. So you got to get one of these. You just got to answer some questions. It doesn't cost any money. And I've got a bunch of plastic bags, some for garbage, some for the smellables, for my buddy. Just little redundancy, but again, light and not really a big deal. My poles. I've got some Luca tape on there. I've got some duct tape on there just in case we need it. This is my GoPro setup. It's not completely full yet, but keep my GoPro gear in there, my batteries, some lenses. So that'll be all my GoPro stuff. My GoPro will probably be, which I'm wearing right now, obviously. My GoPro will probably be separate, but and I also have this chesty and got that shoulder strap. We've got this Gorilla, which we could stick the iPhone in there, but we could also stick the GoPro in there. This is for charge. This is a little heavy. I just picked this up. It's heavier than I really would have liked. But when you're charging in town or charging at VVR, rather than hogging a bunch of plugs, I can just do one and I can charge basically 4 things at once because I've got a plug that goes in here and then splits out. So that'll save some time. It's a little heavier than I'd like, as are these guys, but I've got a lot of electronics, as you see, so I need to keep it all charged up. So 3 battery packs, a bunch of cables, my headlight. Actually bringing my whoop. I'll be wearing that on my wrist though, so it's not really added weight, but want to see the statistics of what's going on. Someone told me not to bring this, but I like it as a backup against my batteries going down because I use batteries a lot quicker when I was in the wilderness than people say or what they say. So I don't know. I got this. It's only 10 watts, but it can give me a charge in a pinch if I get low. And so it's not that light, but it's light enough where I like it. And so I've got 3 memory cards. I'm just going to stick them in here just so they're not too small because I'm really good at losing stuff. I've got my Garmin watch and my Garmin InReach. That'll be on my wrist. That'll be on my hanging from my bag. This is the charger for the watch. I'm bringing a pen. I'm actually going to bring a little book and kind of write a little bit while I'm there, believe it or not. And I think that's all my gear. I mean, let me just, the only other thing, I will have this backpack with me just for the convenience of it on my way to California, and then it'll just go in that REI bag. But yeah, this is kind of the breakdown. I'm going to pack it up now, and we'll see how it all fits, and then we'll do the bear can. And then I'm good to go. 5 days and we're headed west. So thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. Please, if you're enjoying these videos, like and subscribe. Follow my couch potato, former Ironman couch potato, 240 pounds to whatever. We'll find out when I get off the trail. But I'm pretty proud. We went from just like walking from here to the beach to, you know, doing some pretty big hikes lately. And, you know, we think we're ready, but, and we kind of did our own little training plan, but the trail will be the judge whether, and honestly, even if I did a good plan and I go to overfit, I think sometimes the trail will just, you know, knock you down anyway. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it. This guy comes with me. My little Jesus coming with me. So there may be a couple of things I'm leaving out, but this is the gist of what's coming, and hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the trail.